Hello, everyone. Jesus Pelosa here with Mambo Merge, and thank you for joining us for our last round of our monthly Mambo Merge Upstart series of 2022. Today is Thursday, December 8th, and Cynthia from our research and development team is going to be walking us through some of the basic functionalities, simple troubleshooting, and going over some of the new features that have just been released. So, thank you again for joining, and thank you, Cynthia, for doing this. Take it away.
Thank you, Jesus. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. Today we're going to be putting Mambo Merge on our contact page. You can put Mambo Merge on any of our objects, standard or custom, in your Salesforce org. Today we're doing it on our contacts here. I'm going to pretend that I'm a donation situation. So I want to send a thank you email to my clients using Mambo Merge. So first we're going to go and click on this gear icon in the top right. We'll go to edit page. I've already downloaded Mambo Merge into this. So when I go to my Lightning app builder and I go down to the standard, past that to custom manage, you'll see Mambo Merge is already in here. So here I'll drag it. You'll see there's these little spots where it tells me I can't drop it, but wherever it's green is good to go. I'll drop it right here. And you'll see on the right-hand side, there's a template ID here, merge field notation, debug, all of this right here. We're going to take note of the template ID, and we're going to save that. And we'll go back and see what our page looks like. You already saw it in the preview. But this is how Mambo Merge looks straight out of the box. We can drag a file, or we can select the button and upload it. From here, we have our setup, template builder, and support buttons. We're going to look at the template builder for right now, because hypothetically, we have our template here, which I'm going to show you what I have. It's just a thank you for donating to our fundraiser. I have the contact's name here and then the date. Technically, I could easily type this in. It's only 2 fields that need to be updated, but that's not why we're here. We want to save time by not having to do everything manually. So what I'm going to look for is, how do I know how to get the name of the contact? So I'll move this guy aside for now. In our template builder, we're going to select contact because we're on that. But you can see that there's several other ones: account owner, created by, last modified, and function. We'll look at functions later in a bit. But for now, I'm going to look for my full name of the contact. So we'll scroll down. You can see that we could also just get the first name, which would be nice if you're writing a full letter to them and you just want to say, dear, in our case, Ivy. But we want to put their full name onto the document. So I go down, I find full name. You'll see that first is going to be the name of the field as it appears on the Salesforce record. In the parentheses is usually going to be the API name. And then right here below in this big field here, it already generates the merge field for me. So I can select that, copy it, and go back to my document, which I already filled out a template. So I put in my name, and then I also have this wonderful merge field here that says today with 2 parentheses inside. That's one of our functions. We'll go and look at that once more. There's a couple of other functions that are available for us. So we have image, lower, no merge now. Image is going to take a file ID in a field and turn it into an image for us. Lower, straightforward. It's going to take whatever we put inside of our parentheses, all lowercase. No merge, if we have anything that we don't want to merge and disappear, because when we have a merge field, if there's no data, it doesn't appear. And we have replace image. If we already have an image, we can also use that. A couple of other ones here, but today we use today, and that's going to give the date of our user's date. So if I'm in the United States, let's say New York, I'll be putting that time. If I'm in the UK, it's going to put that time or that date. So you don't have to worry about anybody having the wrong date when they generate that. All right, so I already have the file uploaded. I go to my libraries. I put it in a library here just so that it's easier for me to locate all of my templates. And I'm going to look at my file details. Why I'm doing this is because we need that template ID, which is actually our file ID. So the way we identify that on this page is actually in the URL up here. Right after content document, it's this set of characters right here. We're going to copy that. And we're going to go back to our Mambo Merge right here. And I'm going to go back to, sorry, jumping ahead of myself. We're going to go back up to the gear icon in the top right. And we're going to go to edit page. Now this is going to make just this one template always set to this Mambo Merge component here. If I select that, it's going to fill out the right-hand side, and I'm going to just paste that file ID in here. And if I click somewhere, you'll see that it actually updates. And it's going to have a button that appears and says merge. So if I save this, we can go back and generate a new template. Now I already have IV down so that you guys can see that I already have somebody new appearing. We'll go to Arthur Sung. And we'll hit merge. And bam, it was pretty fast. It already said that it was successful. You can see it downloaded right down here for me. And it's opening, and I'll show you guys. Arthur Sung right here with today's date filled in. Didn't have to do anything myself. So that's great, but that's pretty simple stuff that Mambo Merge can do. And with the Pro Edition, we can do so much more. So this setup button, this allows us to make several different controlled configurations of our templates. It allows us to make a whole bunch of them. We can add templates and so forth. So to show you guys, this is what it looks like when you first open a new template, a new configuration. There's the S object. It autofills usually with the object that you're on. But if you're on a different object and you want to customize for another object, you are able to change this. And then configuration ID is how we identify these configurations. I already have one already built, so we'll continue looking at this in the one that I built already, which I've named Donor Thank You. We could just select here. We can delete a configuration from here, or we can edit it. We're going to edit ours. And you can see this one is set to contact. And my Donor Thank You is my configuration ID. I could choose to have a drop-down menu, or I can have the buttons. I only have one template in here, so I'm going to keep that as a button. But once we get more than 5 templates, it's usually a little crowded, so we recommend that you go to the drop-down. It looks a little bit cleaner and easy to manage. So label is going to be what appears on the button or in the drop-down that you'll be selecting. So this is how you will identify which template you're grabbing. In the file ID, this is how we grab the file ID. We did it manually for the single component button, but here in the configuration, it's really easy. I just select this little magnifying glass and it takes me to this mirrored files tab. We can look at it as icons. We can look at it as list. We can also go to our libraries to make sure that we're selecting the right template from the right library. I just click it, the select button highlights, and then it fills for me. Destination, we can choose to have it download immediately as it did with the single button that you saw, or we can attach it to the record, or this really cool one that we've just added is save to a library. And with that, you would select the library ID. I've gone ahead and created a library for all of my donor thank you certificates that I'm making. Just select it, and it fills again for me. And then with generate file name, this is going to be the file that comes out from Mambo Merge. So Salesforce will allow you to continue to produce files with similar names. So we probably want to change this. I'm going to put my name for my donor. And then after thank you, I'm going to use another one of those cool functions we have. This one is called this year. This will just put the year for me. So then I know the donor, who it was, the thank you, and what year it was sent. The other thing we have are our post-merge actions. This one I want to be sending to my clients in an email. So what we do is we hit the add button. It lets me choose an action. We have update, save task. I did send email, as you saw in the one above. We'll continue looking at this. So to address field, it shows me all the fields. So if you have a custom field that is actually capturing your email instead of this standard one that's built in, you can select it from here. I selected email because it's a contact object. It already exists. And then from there, we select the email template ID. So this is different from your Mambo Merge ID, template ID. So with Mambo Merge, it's producing the attachment to the email. It's still using Salesforce classic email templates to send the initial email. So sends the email, we generate the attachment. Again, these wonderful little magnifying glass take us to the page so that we can actually search it by name instead of having to go and look for those record IDs for the things. So if we have the org-wide email address ID, we can select that. I have a fake one here that I made. I could select it. It'll fill it in. But if I don't want to use a org-wide email address, I can leave this blank, and it will use the user who's pushing the Mambo Merge button email for as the sender of this email. So I'm going to do that and save it this way. There we go. And now we want to remember this configuration ID, donor thank you. But you also want to be aware that this is a case sensitive. So I got a little crazy here. I have 3 capitalized letters. I'll show you why that's a little issue right there, but we'll go ahead and close this. We'll go back to our gear icon in the top right. We'll hit edit page. As it loads, we will click on our Mambo Merge component. And we're going to clear out our template IDs. Revert back to our basic component without any details. And I'm going to type in donor, thank you. And I'm going to not capitalize that Y, even though it was, so you can see it's updating and nothing changed. So it is case sensitive. You do want to make sure that you don't go crazy making uppercase, lowercase, uppercase kind of pattern there. Go ahead and click somewhere so that it loads up, and you can see my button is there. So keep that in mind. It is case sensitive. If it is a little bit long of a configuration ID that you've created, we recommend to copy and paste into here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save so we can try that button out. All right, it is saved. I'm going to go back. Because we already did Arthur Fung, let's try somebody else today. Let's go with Jane Grey. And we'll hit her button. And we want to keep in mind, Jane Grey had an email sent to her on December 1st. So let's make sure that our new one pops up. Hit thank you. Our document was generated. This link right here, we could click it and it would do an automatic download for us. I didn't click it. We'll go and find that file later. But you can see right here today, we sent another email to Jane Grey with an attachment. So that post-merge happened. Normally, if we had chose to attach to the record, your file would appear here, but I don't have that file here because we selected to have it in our library we've created to collect all of our donor thank you certificates. So I'm going to click on this, and you can see Jane Gray is right here. You just downloaded her. So that's perfect. So what's another thing that we can do with Mambo Merge that's already built into Salesforce is actually setting it up so that Mambo Merge doesn't appear if we don't need it anymore. So let's say you've already done your download of your thank you email certificate, whatever document it is that you're actually trying to make. We can set something to keep this from appearing so that your user doesn't even have to push it unless it's in the right time. So I have these two fields that I created. I put a no email contact and a thank you email date. I'm going to go back to this configuration here. And I'm going to go into my configuration. And I'm going to add another post-merge action. I want it to always capture when I've done the thank you letter generation. So let's see. Thank you email date. And we can probably always select a date here, but I want to use the date that I'm actually hitting that button and generating it. So I'm going to go ahead and set to generated date. I'm going to save the configuration. And then one more step. So I don't want this button to appear when this is already a date that's happening today. So I'm going to go to edit page. And it'll be a little clearer once I get to this page what I'm trying to do. So I go to my Mambo Merge component, and I have this set component visibility. And I'm going to look for did I pass it? I think I did. I thank you. Let's see. I look for the record. Looks like we need to go to thank you. All right. Can't find that field. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to not worry about that, but we'll keep in mind that we now have it so that we're going to generate the document for that. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go ahead and look for that no email. So no email contact. That was the field I made. And if it's true, actually it's not, if it's not true, that's what I want. I don't want them to be able to send that if the person doesn't want to have no opt. So I'm going to save that. We're going to go back. And let's check our details. So we have it as they don't have this mark. So we can hit that button. But if I hit that they don't want that, and I save it, Mambo Merge disappears. So now I don't have to worry about my users accidentally sending that thank you email if my client doesn't want it. Now, if I change it back again, we hit save. Mambo Merge is back, and my user can now send that thank you email. So we're going to go ahead and save that or merge that so that we can actually see the record update. So it was updated. And then over here, thank you email date. So today it was sent. So you can do a lot more with Mambo Merge using built-in things with Salesforce. The emails with the classic email templates, updating your record, setting the visibility of your Mambo Merge component. There's so much more that we can do, but this is just a basic setup for how to get it going and start working with it. And it's pretty straightforward, simple. Remember, template builder is how we get those merge fields for our actual template. And yeah, I'm going to give it back to Jesus. If anybody wants to start asking questions, I'm more than
Thank
happy
you,
to answer.
Cynthia. Thank you very much. If you feel like unmuting yourself, or if you want to drop something in the chat, feel free to do either, and then we can go ahead and open up for questions and answers here, Q&A. All right, I do see we do have a question here in the chat here. Let me go ahead and read it off here. Looks like somebody. All right, so it says, how often does Mambo Merge update? And a follow-up question on that is, do I have to worry about changes to my configurations?
Yeah, so Mambo Merge updates usually monthly. They try to let you guys update automatically, but we do have an option for clients to let us know that they do not want us to push our updates to you. Those are our pro edition, because we understand that people are in the midst of testing and making sure everything works before it gets to their production. We don't want to corrupt anything for you with surprises of our new features. And with your configurations, they don't change. They hold on true. So if you need to manually update, or if an update comes in, you don't have to worry. All of these configurations, they're going to be there and they're going to be fine.
Thank you. I do see another question that just came into the chat here.
Right.
Looks like for people that have existing Mambo Merge templates, can they directly use them within Mambo Merge without making any changes to the format?
They will look similar. Some of the merge fields will match up, but we always recommend that you go compare everything to the template, because Mambo Merge is, Mambo Merge is using the object to identify. If you remember with the configurations, we go ahead and we set where they are. This is a configuration I've set up for opportunity. So the merge fields for this configuration are going to be slightly different from our contacts. So we want to make sure that based on where you're setting up Mambo Merge, those merge fields will work.
Okay, thank you. Oh, wow, they just keep coming here. We have one more question coming here on the chat. All right, looks like for following up, I guess, similar to the question before on that update request, if updates are pushed automatically, is there a way to opt out in any of the additions? And if you cannot opt out, how do I update if I decide it's time? Like if they want to upgrade.
So if you've opted out of getting the automatic updates, you can always go to the App Exchange, and it's the same installation as if you were downloading Mambo Merge for the first time.
Okay. It looks like we have one more question coming in here. I guess somebody's a little bit interested in finding out anything new and exciting to look forward to in 2023. Any features that may be working under the hood and kind of, something to look forward to for next year?
Yes, so we have features that Mambo Merge is capable of doing, but are not built into it at the moment. I'll show you a quick example of that. It's using list views. Usually you have to download a recipe. At the moment, that is still how it's functioning. You download the recipe and then you create a button, and it connects to Mambo Merge, and it'll merge several documents at once, as you can see right here. This is a batch. It's making the document for each record based off of one template. This is not possible with Mambo Merge without those recipes. But in our newest output, we're going to be having a wizard where you can easily do this with Mambo Merge already downloaded and not have to add the recipes to get it to work. So you'll be able to choose those list views and set it up with our wizard inside of Mambo Merge.
Exciting. Wow. Any more questions from anyone? Okay. Well, we do want to thank everyone for joining. And if you do think of questions 10 minutes after this call, as it happens, feel free to send them our way. The next webinar session is scheduled for January 12th for 2023. So if you'd like to attend, follow us on social media or email us to add you to the list. Thank you again thank you, Cynthia, for running us through this and answering questions. Thank you, folks, for asking questions, and have a wonderful rest of your day.